Hi, welcome back. This is topic number 4 of effective working in accounting and finance, which is a module that you're going to do in CAT stage 1. So unit 4 is about continuing professional development, which is also commonly known as continuous professional development and usually abbreviated as CPD. Work with me. So this is what we are going to be covering in this chapter. We're going to learn how you're going to continue learning through your career and improving your work skills and knowledge. The knowledge you're going to obtain from various stages of your education and academic journey is not going to be enough for your entire career. You're going to need to update your understanding in various ways. And then, of course, we're going to understand how this might be required in different professions, including the accounting profession. Now, what is CPD? We said CPD means basically continuous professional development. But technically, what this means is that you need to continuously learn at work. You need to continuously update your skills at work. Why? Because learning does not stop after school. I know I hate to say that, it might sound as bad news, but the kind of learning that you're going to be doing is probably different from what you're doing right now. You're going to essentially continue learning even when you have no examination, just for you to understand better ways of doing your job. And it also helps you to stay competent, because if you don't update your skills, you are going to be irrelevant. Think about this. For someone who started working before the age of AI, if they don't update their understanding of how to use AI tools to work, they will become irrelevant, which is why new things come up in your profession, and you need to obtain a very good understanding to learn how to use those tools in your work. So plan to use this to continue learning in your work when you finish school. Why is CPD important? Why? Because it improves your job performance. It helps you become more efficient at work. It helps you see things clearly, better, and it also helps a company and you meet your expectations. It prepares you as an employee to adapt to new ways of doing work, to changes, because sometimes there are changes in your workplace. And most importantly, it builds your confidence, because you understand how to do new things, and usually in a better way. Now, in Rwanda, CPD is essentially important in almost every part of your career, in every institution. Why? Because we need to learn better ways of service delivery. Remember that there are some sectors that are emerging that we're not familiar with. CPD helps you to understand how to better deliver those services. The correct way of tax and payroll systems. Rwanda Revenue Authority sometimes updates their systems. Sometimes they introduce new systems. And sometimes they also organize trainings for users, for consultants, for institutions to understand how to use and interact with these tools. This is why it is very important for you to continue learning. And it also helps us comply with those. Every now and then you see new laws, new regulations. It is essential for you and maybe other staff at work to understand these laws and regulations and to help the company comply with them. And overall, it helps us become more productive at work. Now, these are various learning and development approaches. Sometimes we may update our understanding through short courses. Short courses, These can be physical courses. They can also be workshops. Sometimes we use online trainings, which is actually very common these days. We update our understanding through online trainings. There are specific platforms where we can undertake courses, but we can also use things like YouTube, for instance. We also use seminars and conferences, and these are usually physical settings. They can also be organized by our employers. We can also learn from colleagues and from coaches. And we also learn on the job. As you figure out how to do things, you obtain new information, and that helps you improve. Sometimes we also read publications, information that is public somewhere on a website or social media, which can help us essentially improve our skills. Now, we need to identify development needs. And it's usually your responsibility, my responsibility, to identify what skills you need to improve. Identify where you lack skills, and compare your current skills to the job needs, and find out whether you actually have the appropriate level of skills for that job. You will find that in many cases, you need to update your skills in that area. And then you can also use feedback from your supervisors. In many cases, your supervisors will provide you with feedback on where you need to improve, and you can use that to improve your understanding. Also, consider changes in laws and systems. As I said before, new laws emerge. Existing laws get updated. You need to be able to train yourself and improve your understanding of systems. Now, once you have obtained an understanding of your learning objectives and your learning needs, you need to set your own development objectives. And this is a system that can help you improve your skills and learn a new system. This concept is called SMART. SMART is an abbreviation that stands for specific, measurable, agreed or agreeable, realistic, and time-bound. Your objective needs to be very specific, not vague. It needs to be measurable. Set an objective that you can measure, either in terms of, kilometers, kilograms, or in any other unit, a quantity that can be measurable at the end of your deliverable. Agreed. Is it agreed? Is it something that your supervisor has agreed, for instance? Is it acceptable? Okay? And in other cases, they call it achievable. Can it be achieved? And then realistic. Is it realistic? Is it something that you can technically achieve? And also time-bound. Make sure you set a deadline. Make sure you set a date on which you are going to deliver your project. An objective without a date usually does not get achieved. Like we have said in chapter number 3, once you have set objectives for your learning goals, essentially, make sure you have a system for reviewing and monitoring the progress of your learning. Track completed CPDs. If you have courses, online courses, maybe physical seminars, have a list and say, I have achieved this, and tick it and say, this has been ticked. This is pending, this is in progress, and this has been completed. Where necessary, adjust your plans. Because as we said, there might be changes along the way that requires you to actually change your plans. Continuously improve either your plan or your skills. There is something we call personal development plan. PDP. Every employee, every person needs to have a PDP. This is where you clearly identify and state out your learning objectives and your learning needs. What are your objectives? What do you want to learn? What are you going to do to learn those skills? So those are specific activities. Set timelines. We said it is essential for you to set timelines. And then make sure you review progress over time. Do not wait until the year ends for you to ask yourself a question and say, hey, did I achieve these objectives or not? Make sure along the way you tick boxes and say, this is going according to plan, this is not going according to plan, what can I change, what can I improve? And that brings us to the end of this chapter. But before we close the chapter officially, as we've done before, let's look at some practice questions. We have 2 questions here. As I said before, pause the video, get a piece of paper and a pen, and answer the question. Put down your answers, and then after this, you can play the video again and check whether the answers are correct or not correct. So we have question number 1 here, which says, what is the main purpose of CPD? Is it to increase taxes? B, to continue learning at work? C, to stop professional learning? D, to reduce working hours? Which one do you think is the correct answer? Answer A, B, C, or D. Question number 2 says, which organization in Rwanda requires correct pay-as-you-earn and RSSB skills? Is it Mineduc, Ministry of Education? Is it Rwanda Revenue Authority, RRA? Is it WASAC? Or is it RDB, Rwanda Development Board? Put down your answer, whether it is A, B, or C. I think we have already covered this previously. Right, I hope you've written down your answers, and we have the correct answers here. Check this against what you have already answered. And as I've said before, if you didn't get them right, do not worry. Go back into the video, understand why you didn't get that right. And if you can't understand how you failed that, you can ask your teacher. Ask your teacher at school. You can also consult your textbook, the ICPA textbook that was provided to you. It might be in your school library, or you can also borrow it from your friend or your colleague if you have it. But the correct answer for question number 1 is B. Essentially, CPD, or continuous professional development, helps workers to stay skilled and compliant. And for question number 2, the answer is also B. Let's now look at the main summary of this chapter. In this chapter, we have seen why CPD is a lifelong endeavor for learning. We have also seen the benefits for workers and employers to continuously update their skills. And we have also seen why it is important in Rwanda and in workplaces in Rwanda. And we have also seen how CPD supports your career growth. For you to move from your one position to another position, it requires you to obtain a newer set of skills. So as you endeavor, as you go through, you embark on this journey for you to obtain a CAT qualification, or maybe your senior 6 certificate, or your bachelor's degree, or whatever stage you are on. Remember that once you finish that, it will not be the end of your learning. If you get a job, you are still going to be required to learn, to keep learning, to keep improving, either on the job, through seminars, online trainings, or through other ways. This has brought us to the end of this unit, which is called S1.3, Effective Working in Accounting and Finance. I hope this has been very helpful for you. Remember that this is only a summary of what you're supposed to cover. I encourage you to pick up your textbook and revise. Consult the ICPAD website for past papers and answers. Talk to your teacher and your colleagues in case you have questions. Thank you very much, and see you.